Hello guys, you're welcome to another video. Now in this video we're going to take a look at the GridView widget inside of Flutter. So what is the GridView widget? The GridView widget is the widget that allows you to display its children inside of a grid. So it has like this like it's kind of like a table structure where you have a number of rows and columns and stuff like that. So that's how the GridView widget works. And so that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. So the first thing we're going to do is replace ListView with a GridView. Alright, now if we have a GridView like this, then we're going to need to have, of course, children. And we're not done though. This actually needs one more parameter, and that is the grid delegate. So there's a couple of things you can specify for a grid delegate. So sliver grid delegate width. So it has this thing about cross axis and max cross axis or whatever. So we're going to take a look at the first one here. We're going to say with fixed cross axis count, and of course we're going to specify the cross axis count, and we're going to say 3. Now this simply means the cross axis is simply the number of columns, I guess. So this is the number of columns inside of a row. So that's what the cross axis count is. Now we also have some other arguments like main axis spacing, cross axis spacing, child aspect ratio, and max axis spacing. So we can do, so for example, cross axis spacing, and we can do something like 8. Main axis spacing, we could also do something like 8. And that's pretty much it, I believe. And now, so here we could also do, we could now start specifying children for this grid. Now there is a widget called grid tile which you could use, and what the grid tile lets you do is just, it's just a grid tile. It has a bunch of properties. For example, it has header, footer, and widget. Alright, so you can specify that if you want, or you can just use the child. And so for the child of this grid tile, we're going to use a placeholder objective, which is another widget that is inside of the Flutter framework, of course. And here, so we're going to do this. What do I have here? Yeah, so we're going to copy this, and then we're going to paste it a bunch of times. We're just going to paste it this many times, and then we're going to reload our application to take a look at what we're doing. And now we should see that our grid view using these children generated this, which is really nice. But I think this is actually covering, like, the app bar is covering some parts of the grid view, so I'm going to put some padding above the grid view. And if I do hard reload, you're going to see now that you can now see the grid view properly. So you can see how it lays out its children. The cross axis count is 3, and that's why it gives the children's columns as 3. Alright, there is more, by the way. So sliver grid delegate width. So we have this max cross axis extent, which is nice. So max cross axis extent. So this is like, this one is saying like you have a grid with maximum width. Alright, so we could say, for example, that the maximum width of a grid is 200. Alright, and now each of these actually have to have like some sort of width. Is this gonna work? Let's just check it out first of all. And as you can see now, it's just giving them 200 by default. But what we could do with this information is to have, for example, a sized box here that is going to be, for example, have the width of like, I don't know, 30. And then this one's probably, let's just take a look at this. Alright. And if I reload, that didn't work. Not that one, this one. know, this didn't work, but I thought the max cross-axis extent should just be something like, you know, something that allows us to set like a cross-axis extent. Anyway, that didn't work, but yeah, so that's the two properties you can select, the max cross-axis extent and the you know, the min axis extent. So I guess that is all there is to know about GridView. Not really, there is more to know about GridView. The max cross-axis thing didn't work, so I'm just gonna stick with the fixed cross-axis count, and I'm going to say that this is going to be 5. Let's see how many, what exactly we get if we use 5 as the cross-axis count. This is going to mean 5. You can see they're very small, so we can just stick with 3. And now we're going to move on to the other variants of GridView, which is the GridView Builder. Now the GridView Builder actually works a little like the way ListView works, alright? Where it just has the item builder, and of course you can specify like context and index, and here you could return a grid tile anyhow you want. Okay, but I'm gonna remove all these parameters here, and let's see. Right, so I'm going to paste this. I'm going to need to return this. So there we go. I believe that's it. So make sure to save and do hot reload. And now you can see that this is actually going to be exactly a grid view that scrolls indefinitely, right? And if you don't want to see a placeholder, you can change that to Flutter, I don't know, Flutter view or Flutter logo, I guess. There we go. And you can see we have a Flutter logo that scrolls for each element. Now, of course, we could also have another one, which is the count. So we have the one for the cross-axis count, for the max cross-axis extent, and the custom one, just as we had for ListView. I think that is all there is to learn about GridView, really. Of course, you could also put a scroll bar on it if it has an item count. So you can specify an item count here, maybe like 50 again, and then put a scroll bar as a parent of this, and the scroll bar is going to display. Let's see if I can do that. Scroll bar. Now because this grid view scrolls vertically, you can add a scroll bar and it's going to work just like that. So you can see the scroll bar right here. We could also make the grid view scroll horizontally, however. So this is just going to be scroll direction and axis dot horizontal. Now this might not work instantly. We have to make the scroll bar also scroll horizontally, I believe. Let's see. What is it called? Orientation. Let's take a look at the orientation. We can specify, so orientation, whatever, I don't care. So let's take a look at this and see if it works. And as you can see now, we can now scroll horizontally for our grid view. So that's the flexibility of GridView and ListView in Flutter. And so yeah, that'll be all for this video. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.